Meeting is being recorded. Ragini, you can.
Welcome to meeting number 16 of Turning Point Toastmasters. I am Rajesh Pagal, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meetings. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience, feeling which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You are inside the Toastmaster of the you are inside the code of conduct of Toastmaster meetings. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded. And it may not be possible. The recording can be paused. There are certain ground rules we need to follow throughout the meetings. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meetings will be result in removal from the room without any warning. Please ensure that your noise making device either in the switched off or in the silent mode. Please speak responsibly on religions, sex, and politics in your speeches. As far as possible, please keep your video on and audio off, and applause flowing throughout the meetings. Role players, the Toastmaster of the day, tabletop masters, and general evaluators, please ensure smart audio and video check before you handing over the stage to the role players. And role players, please rename yourselves like role players hyphen your name. We encourage you to use the Zoom emotions generously to encourage role players. We sincerely request not to send any chat message to everyone or the speaker on the stage. In fact, refrain from chatting altogether and focus on the speaker. Now, I am handing over the stage to presiding officer Manvinder. Manvinder, over to you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Good afternoon, everyone. It feels so good to be back after so long. So welcome to the Turning Point on Sunday, meeting number 16. Before I begin, I want to remind you that our country is right now undergoing very challenging times on the health front, and that we can contribute to combating that challenge by simply staying at our homes. Thank you to virtual platforms. We can now a Toastmasters meeting such as this one almost any time of the day. So stay safe, stay at home, and keep attending Toastmasters meetings. On that note, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guests. For reasons of saving time, I will not ask the guests for the introductions right now. Instead, I'll ask them to give their feedbacks towards the end of the meeting. So thank you everyone for coming to the meeting. Okay, and having acknowledged our guest, I would like to remind you that in case we get disconnected, please do not panic, log in using the same URL as before. Let me now welcome our Toastmaster of the meeting, the vivacious, the charming, and the ready to send the word on a diet, Toastmaster Ayushi Kumar. May I request Ayushi to be spotlighted?
A warm and a happy
Ayushi spotlighted Manvinder.
Ayushi Kumar, Food and Nutrition, Ayushi Kumar.
A warm and a happy welcome to all the Toastmasters and guests. I hope your family, friends, and loved ones are keeping safe and healthy. COVID times have certainly taught us the importance of food, and it reminds me of the famous quote, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." Therefore, it is important to bring positive change in our eating habits to ensure the long-term positive effects on health. If you ever ask somebody how to be healthy, you would have probably got the answer that go for a keto diet, avoid all the kinds of sugary like candies, or avoid dairy products. The problem is this has created so much confusion and unnecessary restriction. Like, are you one of them who would have tried all these kind of restrictions? If yes, then raise your hand. just be relieved to know, like I could see a number of hands, but just be relieved to know that eating healthy food is far more easier than this. And I promote an idea of the whole wheat food, meaning eating fruits and veggies close to their original form as far as possible. Because when food is refreshed, then minerals get stripped off and often preservatives are added. Dear all, cultivating the healthy relationship with food is very, very important. Now, how you can do that? You can do that by adding the nuts to your plates today, the coconut water for minerals, or the fruits for fiber. Now, we will discuss that all more throughout the meeting. Like the balanced diet have many aspects, so do our Toastmasters meeting. To start with, the typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections. We have the prepared speeches, where the speaker prepare their speeches in advance and deliver their speeches. The second one is the table topic session, where the guests and the Toastmasters who would have not got chance to speak will speak on the topic instantly. And last but not the least, the evaluation section, where everyone gets a chance to improve. As food is important to keep our body strong, the Toastmasters meeting is important to help us become a confident being, and an evaluator is the guiding force behind it. Talking about evaluation, I would like to introduce the G for today's meeting, Manisha. Now, she has started taking the green tea in her diet as a step towards healthy eating. Now, let me introduce and call upon the G for today's meeting, Toastmasters Manisha. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Ayushi. No matter what walk of life we're all coming from, what phase of life we're all coming from, there's one familiarity that we all have. We are all growth-oriented people and we want to learn and improve ourselves every day. In making that effort, I have a team of tag role players who will be evaluating each and every aspect of the meeting today. So for starters, I have timer who will be timing the prepared speakers, table topic speakers, and the speech evaluators. I would request the timer Urfia to please explain her role now. Over to you, timer Urfia.
Here, the general evaluator explains the role, Manisha. So just explain the timing role. Only the
Okay, sure.
grammarian calls out the word of the day. That's it.
Sure. So Urfia will be displaying cards for prepared speeches. Urfia will be displaying a green card at 5 minutes, a yellow card at 6 minutes, and a red card at 7 minutes. For table topics, she will be displaying the red card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and a red card at 2 minutes. For speech evaluator, she will be similarly displaying the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. The second role player that we have is our counter, which will be played by Ragini. The role of our counter will be to make note of any the crutches that we use in our speech that do not add any additional value to our speech. So Ragini will be making note of all the crutches and breaks that we have during our speech. The third role player that we have is Grammarian. Just as the name suggests, the role of the Grammarian will be to make note of the good usages and the bad usages of grammar that we will have in the meeting, and then also come up with the suggestions for the bad usages that we have had. The role of Grammarian is being played by Pratik. Pratik also has an additional duty today, which is to introduce the word of the day. So I would request Prateek to take over to the stage and introduce the word of the day with us.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the technical glitch. Actually, I've logged in from the two devices. And thank you, Journal Evaluator Manisha. And the word of the day is appetence. The meaning of this word is intense desire, strong natural craving, natural affinity, or appetite. For example, we can use it. I learned to cook my wife's appetence, toluene soup. I will type in the chat box for easy reference. Over to you, Journal Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Grammarian Prateek. I would also request you to type in the word in the chat box. I think you've written word of the day, but not shared word of the day in the chat box. Would be very helpful if all of us could see it as well. So I would encourage additionally all the team members to use the word of the day as much as possible. Handing over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Ayushi, to take forward the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Ayushi.
Thank you, Manisha, for beautifully explaining the rule. Now let's begin with the first section, the power back section of speeches. So our first prepared speaker is Fatima. So Fatima has started drinking a lot more water since it is Ramadan, and it acts like the detoxifier. Now, before I call the first speaker, Fatima, on stage, I would like to call upon her evaluator, Rajesh, to read out the speech objective. Rajesh told me that he was struggling from obesity from last 6 months, and now he has become pure vegetarian and has stopped eating outside, and indeed the role model for many. Now I will call upon the Rajesh to read out the speech objectives.
Thank you. So today Fatima is going to complete her speech, that is Innovation Planning's Level 3 Project 1. The purpose of this meeting, the purpose of this project is the member to practice developing and presenting a proposals. So timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Fatima, frontline warriors, Fatima.
The COVID-19 pandemic is a very challenging time and has put significant pressure on our healthcare system. Nevertheless, workers continue to devote their time and energy to contain this pandemic. I am humbled by their immense sacrifices, invaluable dedication, commitment, and unwavering efforts in managing COVID-19, oftentimes risking their own lives only for the benefit of our nation. So there's a story that touched my heart and made me into tears that I would like to share. This topic is very touchy to my heart, but I will try to put it out to you. So, this is the story of a mother and a child getting separated in the beginning and at the end forever. There was a 7-year-old child who saw her mother getting up early in the morning, wearing the PPE kit, and going to the hospital and rushing. While seeing this, she asks the mother, "Mom, where are you going?" She cries and kisses her child back and says, "I'm going to work for kids like you. You're happy here eating food, but there are a lot more other children who are crying on the beds and not even able to see their mothers and fathers." She says her goodbye and goes to her bed for sleep. But the mother, she travels to the hospital and sees other 100 children crying to death. She went on that day and never returned back home because she also got infected and led her to death. This year's theme is real life heroes. COVID-19 might be today's supervillain, but it does not deter our real life heroes from doing their job and tireless working to find the ways to combat the threat and eventually beat this invisible nemesis for our sake. We mourn the thousands who have lost their lives to the virus across the globe, including family and close ones. But at such a time, we join together to bring out the human kindness, generosity, and feelings. This crisis is challenging us as a species to bring about an increased sense of our humanity, community, and compassion. We celebrate what makes our frontliners real life heroes. We salute them for continuously putting their lives on the line despite the risk and uncertainties. Their efforts must not be overlooked or forgotten. There, we will never be able to thank them for incredible doctors, nurses, technicians, and staff support members who are working around the clock to the patients who have COVID 19. The dangerous coronavirus disease, their dedication, determination, and the spirit is way more valuable than the promise of a medicine. A doctor from Italy, who is the head of ontology, says that one of his patients was in ER for 10 hours. And then she signed a paper stating that she don't want to stay in the bed of the hospital. Rather, she would like to die in her own bed at her home. And the doctor himself visited to her home and gave her the medicines. Within few weeks, she got better. That's when it struck him that there is a chance of treating the patients inside the home, and they do not need to wait to visit the hospitals. This was Dr. Kenava from Italy. Medical frontliners also need to support the community when we protect our frontliners. We also protect ourselves. We must stay safe. I would like to end my speech by saying that life is short, life is uncertain, but we know that we have today and we have each other. I believe that each of us, there is a place on the frontliners. Thank you.
Wonderful speech, Padma. A very great job on this, right? It's so true that these frontline workers, with the fear of getting injected, still are serving endlessly for the nation and leaving behind their loved ones. And thank you for once again in telling us that we all should respect and have some more care for all these people who are working endlessly to ensure that we and our families are safe at home. Now let's begin with, with our second speech, which is, and, this, and our second speech is presented by speaker Hina. Hina has started taking more of multivitamin these days to ensure that she is more fit and fine. Before I call Hina on stage, I would like to call upon her evaluator Rupinder to read out the speech objective. Rupinder has clarity of mind and lives with a quote that he live to eat and not eat to live. Over to you, Rupinder.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Ina today is attempting her Level 1 Project 2 first speech, which is evaluation and feedback. In this speech, she will be delivering a 5 to 7 minute speech, and she will get evaluated for it. I wish the speaker all the very best, and I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Rupinder. Hina, hungry in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, Hina.
Thank you, Toastmaster, so much for this. Have I ever told you that I'm a seafood eater? I see food and I eat food. As long as there is no fish, no meat, no egg, I'm good with any food. In fact, I enjoy the Caribbean jambalaya as much as the bland taste of a potato fondue on the streets of Paris. Unlike unlike Gujaratis and Marwadis, which is what I am known for, you won't see me packing khakras and fafras and theplas in my bag. Au contraire, I have an appetence for the local food. However, this time was different. This time I had a feeling of a resveber, that feeling which a traveler typically gets when they are packing and heading towards a journey and they have this feeling of anxiety and anticipation all jumbled up together. I had a reason for my resveber. This was my second trip to Hong Kong. My first reason was one, this was not a trip I had organized. This was an official trip. So the company had organized the trip, the stay, and everything was planned by them. And the second reason was I had already been to Hong Kong, and my first trip was a scavenger hunt for the vegetarian food that was now bothering me. My my first trip to Hong Kong was almost 15 years ago, and it was a very touristy family fun with Disneyland and Ocean's View and the shopping, high street shopping, and the fun at Macau. I pretty much enjoyed every single part of Hong Kong, and it surely was one of the best destinations to enjoy. However, there was one problem. To get vegetarian food, I had to literally search for God Himself. I'm talking literally because it was only at those not British, sorry, at the Buddhist temples and the Buddhist restaurants that I could get my pure vegetarian food. However, if you read through the menu, you would see they would have chicken and fish and others mentioned, but they were all plant-based vegetarian food. So I did have my fun of exploring and having those authentic food, but however, it wasn't necessarily a simple task. So this second trip was organized by the company, and I had no reason to believe that I would struggle with a vegetarian food this time because, it was a good 4-star hotel. It was booked, and I thought that everything would be fine. However, alas, my worst nightmare came true. The first day of me trying to roam around in the buffet breakfast menu to try and find out something I could really eat. But I couldn't get anything. Everything, including the breads, had either eggs or some other kind of fish oil or meat or something which surely I couldn't eat. I kind of had fruits and moved on. Now, lunch and dinner were no better. By the next day morning, I was truly feeling sick, totally deprived, truly desperate. And I knew that feeling of that underprivileged child who goes through this when they don't get a morsel of food to it. I probably had that true empathy at that time. In desperation, I said, I need to speak to the chef. I'm ready to go cook if required, but I need to speak to the chef. As my luck would have it, the chef in his chef coats, smartly dressed, tall, dark haired, Asian skinned, with tricolor on his collar. He came to say hello to me. I saw the tricolor and I like, yes, saffron, white, green. I met my Indian chef. I was so glad. I poured my heart out to him. I told him about the pain I was going through of not having a decent food to eat. He heard me patiently and he's like, don't worry. I don't have anything on the menu to offer me, but I'm going to get you something which you will truly enjoy. He went back and in 30 minutes came back with one of the best stuffed paratha I could ever have had in my life. We got talking, and like a cliche question, I asked, so where are you from? And he said, I'm from Azad Kashmir. Like a naive that didn't really resonate immediately. And I was like, Azad Kashmir, I haven't heard of it. Is it near Gulmarg, Jammu, or Pahalgaon? Can you tell me where it is? And he was like, he gave me the best smile and he said, it's in Pakistan. Pakistan? My only understanding of Pakistan was the stories of war, the patriotism I felt at Wagah border, or the India-Pakistan cricket match. That is how and how much I knew Pakistan. However, in Hong Kong, in that hunger of Hong Kong, is where I truly understood and saw the genuine care, empathy, and the next 3 days were one of the best 3 days I have ever had, where it was not about the place, the food, the travel, but the genuine care, empathy, and brotherhood. The chef made sure that every time we were down for food, he used to come personally make something for me, which I could have. And when we were going out for shopping at Kowloon, he made sure that he packed something off to me. As a traveler, there are many amazing discoveries I have made in the many journeys I have had. But it was in this journey that I saw an amazing universal brotherhood, which behind the walls of our political borders is dividing us. That was my journey, my experience. Have you had any? Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Hina, for the remarkable speech. Your speech surely brings a smile on everyone's face. And let me tell you that you have a very beautiful smile. Now, I will request a 1 minute silence for the audience to give the feedback in the chat box to both our speakers, Fatima and Hina.
Let's keep it to 2 minutes. If you missed out the 1 minute for Fatima, let's keep it to 2 minutes. After that, I will launch the polls for the best speaker. Are the 2 minutes up?
Yes, now they're up.
Ayushi, you can continue while the audience casts the poll.
Health is wealth, is what we have learned. But it seems that in our busy life, we have forgotten what healthy eating habit is all about. Eating a healthy, balanced diet has unforeseen benefits, and these are exceptional and long term. Now, I want to hear from you all that what are the benefits you guys think that have in healthy eating. So we can quickly write in the chat box that what benefits you think are from eating healthy food. Come on, guys, write on the chat box any benefit that you feel that you would have if you eat healthy food. Change of taste. Yes, it is more refreshing. Exactly, active body and mind. Yes, exactly. And your body feel more happy, more positive, and more lighter. So this is so good to know that we all know that what are the benefits of eating healthy. I would also explain a little so that we all take a step towards eating healthy food. The first one is the healthy heart. Eating healthy food can improve heart health and common heart diseases. Second, strong bones and teeth. A diet full of calcium is good for bones and teeth, and it minimizes issues at later stage, improves memory and brain. Eating healthy food increases the blood flow to the brain and prevent diseases. Better mood. Evidence suggests that there is a close relationship between the diet and mood. Better diet leads to better mood. It reduces stress. Vegetables and fruits are loaded with antioxidants, and that reduces the stress in the body. And the last but not the least, good for environment. The less processed the food is, the less impact it has on the environment and climate. Looking at the number of benefits we have of eating the healthy food, I am leaving you now with a food for thought to think about the steps that we can take to try eating healthy food. Our next section, table topics, have no less benefits than healthy food. Table topics sharpens our impromptu speaking. It helps to organize our thoughts quickly and respond to a situation. I would like to invite Toastmaster Gayatri to conduct the much awaited table topic session. She has stopped eating Maggie and chocolates in the middle of the night while binge watching. Kudos to her for taking a great step towards eating healthy food. I would, li- I would now hand over the stage to Gayatri.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. And a very, very, very good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let us start with the table topics section. As we are all well aware, table topics section is where you get a topic thrown at you and you have to speak impromptu for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. The timer will show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. I would like to call upon nominations for the table topic section. Who would like to be the table topic speaker? And on that note, I would like to start with Manpinder Kaur so that she illustrates how a table topic is to be handled. Personally, I know she's great at it. So Manpinder, are you ready?
Yes, Gayatri, I'm ready.
Okay. I will be pasting the topic in the chat section as well for the reference of everybody. The topic for you, Manpinder. Eat dark chocolate. It may be bitter, but it is good for health. Eat dark chocolate. It may be bitter, but it is good for health. Manpinder Kaur.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you for the topic. For a chocolate lover, I would say, beat a dark chocolate, beat any chocolate, just eat it. Doesn't matter. But if you're having guilt for eating chocolates, as people have written in the chat as well, that when they eat unhealthy foods, they feel guilt. Even I feel guilt. And I try to drink like 8 glasses of water to, balance that out that, okay, I'm not eating healthy. I'm not eating unhealthy. So if you feel, okay, maybe I should be staying healthy, then I would say go for a dark chocolate. For a chocolate lover, I would say it doesn't taste bitter at all. It tastes amazing. I can have like 8 to 10 bonvilles a day. It doesn't matter to me if it's bitter or not. Gayatri is agreeing with me. I have this kind of wrappers lying around my table all the time. So I buy chocolates from more. I get like hundreds of chocolate and eat all at once. In college, we had a tuck shop in the hostel downstairs. So I used to buy like 20, 30 candies. And by the time I reached fourth floor, I used to have only wrappers in my hand. So that's the amount of craze and love for my chocolates and candies. But yes, that of course makes you like guilty after the time you finish all. So I would say, just for the sake of staying healthy and being happy, you should of course go for the dark chocolates. Thank you. Over to you, Gayatri.
If I looked anything like you, Manpinder, even I would have eaten like 7 to 8 dark chocolates, or any chocolates for that matter.
So
On
in
that
India,
note,
we are getting Hershey's as well. So I think M&M and Hershey's, they are like the best, and they have replaced all the chocolates that we used to eat earlier.
we have taken the recommendation very seriously. And on that note, I would like to call upon my next table topic speaker. And for next table topic, I would like to call upon Naveen Parwal.
Right. Thank you. Thank you,
Naveen,
Gayatri. Yes.
you look fit, and that is why I'm giving you this topic in particular.
Okay.
We would like you to share the tips for healthy lifestyle. Tips for a healthy lifestyle. Naveen Parwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri. Well, I might be looking healthy right now, but if you would have seen me 2 years ago, you would not have commented that. And well, for me, I would say the lockdown has been a boon because I was able to concentrate more on myself rather than all those traveling and unhealthy eating and all those things. So I was able to discipline myself. Now, some of the tips which I would like to give to the youngs to everyone is the reason I got conscious was because my blood sugar level started rising, and my doctors, they warned me that if you don't take care of myself, you might face serious trouble ahead. So that's when I got serious, and then I consulted some of the best dietitians, and one of the best things which they really told me was that try to get off all those medicines, because when the diet is wrong, medicine is of no use, and when the diet is correct, medicine is of no need. And for a moment I didn't understand this, but then when I started changing my diet, and when I started eating more of things which are unprocessed and which are fresh in nature and which are in their raw form, I could see a difference only within 2 months. First I lost about 3 or 4 kilos, and then the next month it was again 3 or 4 kilos. So it happened for almost 3 months, when when I transformed myself, and I had to transform my clothes as well, which I used to wear. Well, but nevertheless, I felt more healthy and I felt more energetic. So on the whole, I would really say that if you don't concentrate on yourself, if you don't concentrate on what you eat, on how you eat, you might end up in trouble ahead. And of course, it's also very important to eat when you're sick, is to feed your sickness. So whenever you're feeling unfit, so I mean, just avoid eating for some time, and also take up some tips of fasting, because fasting also really helps a lot to really heal yourself. And over a period of time, fasting is like, it's been there in all the religions, as we can see fasting. So fasting has got a huge benefit towards improvement of health. Well, so that's what I would like to end by saying: a merry heart does good like a medicine, and a broken spirit drieth the bones. So be merry at heart and live a happy life, and always be with the right people. Thank you.
That particular topic was given to the perfect speaker, perfect topic for the perfect speaker. And now I would like to call upon my next table topic speaker, Hansika Jarya. Hansika, would you like to take up a table topic?
Yeah, definitely, sure. Thank you.
Hansika, topic for you is junk food is bad for physical health. Junk thoughts are bad for mental health. Junk food is bad for physical health. Junk thoughts are bad for mental health.
This is such a nice and crazy topic, by the way, because both of them just do not suit me. I'll tell you why. Because maybe like I am so much inclined towards this thing that one should be fit, one should eat healthy, one should, feel, eating light and healthy is something that we, we feel good about it. We feel healthy and we stay fit as well. And we look good as well. But something that, that is something that I'm not able to do on a regular basis. I always I make a pledge to not eat Maggie. I make a pledge to not eat junk foods. But then at the end of the day, like by the evening or something, in a snack food or something, I want something junk. And which is why, junk food is really, unhealthy and it does make me fat. It did make me fat. And if you talk about the junk thoughts, then not in favor of that, especially because I know that, overthinking and things like that can make our mind, really unproductive, and thinking about stuff which is in the future, which is in the past, can make it difficult for us to even survive in the present. So I think that junk thoughts should really be kept aside while working, and to be productive, junk thoughts should be kept far, far, far away from our workspace. And so junk food is something that's a bad topic for me. So I really can't say, being honest, I can't say about that do not eat it and it's good. I know that it's not good, but I still do it. I really need to improve upon that, and I am going to do after this Sunday topic. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you, Gayatri.
Thank you so much, Hansika, for sharing that with us. And now I would like to call upon my next table topic speaker. Who would like to come on next? Okay.
We have Jim.
Okay, Jim, would you like to take up the next topic? I think he is not yet active. Okay, Padma Kumar, would you like to take up the next topic?
Sure.
Okay, so Padma Kumar, the topic for you is sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Recipe for a healthy food as well as life in general. Sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Recipe for healthy food as well as life in general. Padma Kumar.
Well, as far as life in general is concerned, I tend to agree that those are not things that we directly have control on. However, I think it is probably not a very wise idea to purposely eat things like sour and bitter. Life as it is has enough things that we need to handle. So I would rather not force myself to eat anything that does not agree with my palate. And more so because I think many of the advice that we get saying, oh, Karela is good for you, though it is bitter, and so on and so forth, is all a scam. It's all a scam. Eat whatever your taste palates want. I heard a speaker earlier saying dark chocolate. I will eat dark chocolate because it is less harmful than the regular chocolates. That's like saying, I love movies, but I'll only go for bhakti movies. My God, when you're seeing a movie, might as well see something that you will enjoy. You want the pleasure of eating a chocolate, and then why do you spoil that by saying, I'll eat dark chocolate? End of the day, I think it's very important for us to live this one life that we have on the planet to full satisfaction. and discard anything that people with seemingly good intentions seem to pour onto you, saying, eat this bitter stuff, eat this sour stuff, it is very good for you. I would say, please follow your advice. I have my own decisions on this. Thank you so much, and no thanks. Thank you very much. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
So we know there is no sour and bitter for Padma Kumar. Now I would like to call upon next table topic speaker, and Sumit Bansal has raised his hand. So Sumit, topic for you. Eat well, sleep well, drink well, breathe well, and life will be fine. Eat well, sleep well, drink well, and breathe well, and life will be fine. Sumit Bansal.
Every day, is I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So every day, whatsoever we eat, and that goes into our stomach, and parallelly, I believe it also affects our minds. So if we are eating too much of junk food, it will directly lead to the thoughts which we are not, which are not good thoughts. So if we are eating well and having a good sleep, and eating and drinking well, having good sleep, parallelly, it also affects our mental state and lead us to a good thoughts, good works, and parallelly help us leading a healthy lifestyle. So if we reciprocate this to the older generation, the people who wakes up at 5 or 6 in the morning and goes for a walk and parallelly exercise something in the morning and having a well-maintained lifestyle to eat at the right time, eating a right food. So we can always see those people are most of the time calm and overall have more productive lifestyle. Similarly, if we are eating a good food and having it at the proper time, parallelly helping ourselves with some exercise, some healthy lifestyle, it will lead us to a good actions and having a good mental state. Yeah, over to you, Evaluator Master.
Thank you so much, Sumit. It was wonderful listening to you after a really, really long time. Now I would like to call upon my next table topic speaker, Shay Singh. Would you like to take up a table topic? You're on mute.
Yes, I would like to speak.
Okay. So, Shay Singh, topic for you is one healthy eating habit you have recently developed or you wish to develop. One healthy eating habit you have recently developed or you wish to develop. Shay Singh.
Yes. Recently, I have developed one healthy habit, and that is when you wake up in morning and drinking 2 or 3 glass of water. I think this is also written in our Vedas that if you wake up in early morning and drink 2 or 3 glass of water, your stomach will be cleaned up when you go to fresh, and it's also affect your mind, as our mind is made up of maximum of water. When you consume less water, your mind doesn't work properly and it distract somewhere. So my suggestion to everyone, drink water as much as you can, as it is suggested that 8 to 10 glass of water in a day is must to drink. But I would recommend, whenever you feel thirsty, or if you don't feel thirsty even, drink water. And you should keep one bottle of water with you, and just create a habit to drink whenever you have time. And don't put your water bottle so far where you are working or where you are sitting. Keep it in front, keep it at a visible location. uh, so whenever your eyes goes at that bottle, and you easily take up and drink it easily. So this is the habit which I have developed recently, and I am feeling so good and healthy. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that detail with us, Shay Singh. Now I would like to call upon our next table topic speaker. Jim, would you like to take up the next table topic?
Yes, thanks.
And this is going to be an opportunity for all of us to know you more intimately. The topic for you is there some food item you are addicted to? If yes, why? Is there some food item you are addicted to and why?
I studied for a few years under a Swami. His name is Swami Sudananda. And he has an ashram about 5 hours from Chennai. And he teaches from the Vedantic text. But he has good English, so he teaches in English. And one of the things that really hit me was that our bodies are like cars. So if we have a petrol engine, we feed it petrol. We don't put sweets or chocolate or other things in it. And if we have a diesel engine, we feed it diesel. We feed it what it needs. We put water in the radiator and we give it just what it needs so it runs continuously and reliably for many, many years. So one of the big shifts that I have had is to switch to whole foods. So what is whole food? Whole food is things that occur naturally. So if it's been processed in some way, like atta or maida. Now, I know a lot about bread because I spent many years trying to perfect bread, and I make breads from all over the world. And after I've perfected it, I find out it's not good for you. So those are highly, highly processed foods, and it creates a lot of bloat in the body and a lot of other things. In fact, most people now suffering from illness or disease, you can pretty much boil it down to metabolic disease. And metabolic disease comes from what we're feeding our engine. So very simply, feed your engine what it needs, what it was designed to take in, whole foods. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, that was a very well spin to the topic, Jim. And yes, I remember you prepared best of the breads. Now I would like to call upon our next table topic speaker, Abhishek Malhotra. Would you like to take up a table topic?
Okay, I can try.
Okay, so Abhishek, the topic for you is don't feel guilty while eating, just exercise harder. Don't feel guilty while eating, just exercise harder.
Yeah, sure. Hi. The topic sounds like something is speaking from my mind or something is coming directly from my soul. It's echoing inside equally. Yeah, it's very true that we all have different taste palettes and we all have different strengths and weaknesses. Somebody loves to eat chocolate, somebody loves to eat sour food, somebody to eat sweet, right? And one of the best way, what I strongly believe is that instead of fighting your soul, right, or instead of fighting your taste bud, the best way is to that feed it in a controlled and a mindful manner and consume it, burn it the way so that you also don't feel guilt about it or its effect of its negative effects can go down. Like one of the speaker talked about that when they crave and eat something which is not healthy, they go for 8 glasses of water. And I think that is quite interesting. So by say, I also do when I have a pastry or a cake, I go for a running around my colony and take a 2 walk steps or whatever you call it. I measure it in steps. It's 2,400 steps per round. So I make it sure that I go for a 3,000 or a 5,000 steps that day. But yes, it also helped me enjoy the best food that I want to eat. And that is one of the way I overcome the craving habits. Thanks. Over to the journal.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for that wonderful attempt. I would like to now call upon our next table topic speaker. Rama, would you like to take up the next table topic?
Hi, I can try.
Okay. So, Rama, the topic for you is a very simple one. Eat to live, not live to eat. Eat to live, not live to eat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for giving me this topic. Eat to live and not to, sorry, eat to live, not live to eat. So nowadays, people are very busy because of their work, but they are not thinking about their eating. So we should be very careful because life is, health is wealth. So I am also health conscious, and I would like to tell you uh, that I don't eat. I eat junk food, but I don't take tea, coffee, or cold drink, which is not good for health. And one more thing I would like to share that whenever we prepare food, we should give positive vibes to our food. And even before eating, we should eat our food with positive thinking. So it will give us positive energy. And we should not live to eat because uh, sometimes nowadays kids are eating too much uh, junk food, so we should tell them why should we not eat junk food and what is the importance of eating healthy food. uh, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Very well attempted, Rama. Very well attempted.
Thank you.
And now I believe we have one last time for one last topic, and I would like to call upon Nasir Khan. Would you like to take up the next topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nasir, I'm giving you a very, very, very easy table topic. Your favorite delicacy of all time. Your favorite delicacy of all time, Nasir Khan.
Thank you, Gayatri, for the wonderful table topic. I love chicken biryani. So this is my favorite dish. But it has some health effect. So it affect the fat stomach. So I do exercise. So I manage that well. So whatever I love, I eat. But for removing those consequences, I do work hard. I do exercise. So I am quite fit. That is the reason. And I don't compromise in eating. Whatever I love, I eat. But I take care about for my health. So I do exercise and apart from it I eat some healthy food as well, which could benefit me. And recently because due to this pandemic, before uh, i I was not much conscious about my health, but now I recently I make the plan that even if I don't like anything much, and I should plan so that I can improve my immunity. So yeah, I am taking care, and but I love my favorite dish, chicken biryani. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Believe me, Nasir, a lot of people over here were smacking their lips the moment you mentioned chicken biryani. And on that note, I'm just a step closer to my long term goal of utilizing or optimal use of time. And I'm happy that I was the table topic master for you, all of you today. And thank you so much for attending these table topics so wonderfully. I would like to now hand over to our lovely Toastmaster of the day, Ayushi Kumar. Over to you, Ayushi.
Thank you, Gayatri, for so wonderfully explaining and taking the entire session for table topic. And also, I'm so delighted to see that the people are so well versed and have been already taking care of their health. So now let's poll for the best table topic speaker.
Polling is over, you may.
There is nothing more important than our good health because it is our principal assets. Good health and good sense are the blessings for life. And now we will discuss the quick tips that we can have so that we can start incorporating the healthy habits today only. The first is eat slow while eating. It takes 20 minutes for your brain to receive the signal that you are hungry or full. Eating slow will give enough time for your brain to perceive. Therefore, simply by eating slower and chewing more, you can reduce the risk of eating too much and gaining weight. Second, drink enough water, at least 8 to 10 glasses each day. Increase the intake of fresh veggies and fruits. How about starting with a juice every day? Try a new healthy recipe each day. Cut down on your snacks. Become more active. Exercise have shown that it improves mood as well as decrease stress. Get a good sleep. Last but most important, cultivate cheerfulness. Be happy. Maintain a positive attitude. Meditate a bit if possible and maintain a interest in life and always keep smiling. Now, I would want all of you to have a very big smile on your face so that we can take the pick for the day. I would request Ragini to take the pick while everybody is smiling.
Sure.
Thank you, Ragini. I completely agree that one can't overhaul his dietary habits because that can be the recipe in disaster. Instead, we can try small changes to make our diet healthier. Similarly, it's our time to bring the GE, who will give us tips and steps to be a better and confident speaker. Over to you, Toastmasters Manisha.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Ayushi, can't agree more. Small changes that we need to add every day, not just to our diets, but probably to our speaking habits to become more effective and efficient speakers. Now, before I move to the speech evaluators to give evaluation of prepared speeches, I would like to quickly give my evaluation of the table topics. Starting with Manpinder, I really liked how she addressed the topic. I was very much able to enjoy her content, and I feel the same would have been the case with the audience as well, because she was very happy and was very engaged with the topic, probably because she could relate so well to it. One suggestion could be that I felt that the speaker was not circling back to the main topic very frequently, like why you should probably eat bitter chocolate. I felt that probably circling back to the main topic is something that the speaker could have worked on. Second, Naveen, who very well, I really liked the way he addressed all the benefits or probably the benefits of lockdown. These days, of course, we're all stuck at home, but there's one thing that we can do. We can cultivate healthy habits. So the speech was very much informative. One thing the speaker could have done, because there were a lot of benefits that were addressed during the speech, I feel that probably towards the end, taking a few seconds, if the speaker could have summed up all the pointers, I think the audience could have taken much more from the topic, from the speech. Next, Hansika, I really liked the candidness with which she addressed the topic, of how she could not really follow what the topic was asking to follow, but I think she could have talked more about how it has impacted her, or how it's impacting her to make it more impactful. Padma Kumar was very confident. A lot of humor was also added to the speech. I really liked it. No suggestions as such. Sumit, I heard that you had spoken after a very long time, so kudos to you for taking the opportunity. I felt that your speech was very structured. Maybe you could have shared some more examples that the audience could have related to, but otherwise it was a good effort. Sharing the habit that you shared, drinking water, I think there are very few things in life which are both easy and simple. The habit that you shared that everyone could cultivate, it was both easy and simple, and also you jumped onto how we can cultivate that habit. So I think it was very well structured. uh, a suggestion, just you could have probably placed the camera in an appropriate way. Otherwise I think the content of your speech was very very well. Then moving to Jim, I think the content was very much nuanced, comprehensive. There was information, there were personal examples. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it kept me engaged. It kept the audience also engaged throughout the time. No suggestions as such. Abhishek, I think very it was structured. Yes, there were, I think, one personal instance also that Abhishek shared in terms of how after eating he's doing some runs or something like that. Could have probably made more engaging by adding a little bit more personal touch to the speech. Rama was very well attempted. The speech was very well attempted. She was very calm and composed throughout her speech. I really liked the way she attempted the topic. So yeah. And Nasir, who talked about his favorite delicacy, it was also, I think, very interesting to hear about it. But one thing that he could have done was, instead of maybe talking about what other things he's doing to inculcate healthy habits, probably he could have talked more about why it is his favorite delicacy or something like that, and could have stick more to the topic. So yeah, that's all for my evaluation. Now I would like to move on to speech evaluators. Would request Rajesh to evaluate the first speaker. Over to you, Rajesh.
Thank you, General Evaluators. First of all, I would like to congratulate Fatima for completing her speech level 3 project of innovation plannings. My salute to you for a very topical and emphatic speech on frontline warriors. It was a nice speech and it reaches to all the audience here. When you are giving the example of the health worker and mother and his kid, that time I was imagining my sisters. She is a frontline worker. I have not seen her for the last couple of days because of this COVID issue. It was a well-structured speech, and your speech gestures as well as the eye contacts are really good. So one recommendation to you, that is, since it is a innovation planning, what is the presenting a proposal? That part still it did not come to picture correctly. Maybe overall this is really good, but if you can concentrate on these ones, then you are really a good speaker in futures. All the best for your speech, and hope we can see in the coming weeks you are more participate and give more speeches like this. Thank you. Thank you to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh, for the evaluation. Moving to our second evaluator, Rupinder, over to you.
Madam General Evaluator, if I was to ask you or and the audience, what is the best way to capture the attention of the audience? The answer would unanimously be ask a question. And yes, it is. But if I was to ask a question, what is the best way to capture the attention even before you have started speaking? The answer would be the title, Hungry in Hong Kong. Intriguing title, immediately captured my attention, made me sit up, made me realize I am a speech evaluator and I better be listening to the speech. And that was a good decision. First of all, I loved that consistent smile that our speaker had throughout her speech. It was endearing. It made us relate to her more. And for someone who's accused of not smiling, it was a refreshing way of how to deliver speech and maintain a smile. I loved that seafood pun, and I love seafood. Okay, I don't love seafood. I do love chicken though. But I loved the way she created relevant experiences in the plight of a vegetarian who's abroad. It was very well brought out, and I've had my fair share of vegetarians traveling along with me and facing food problems. Very well brought out. What I also loved was that Pakistan angle. And it was so relatable because I have traveled, and when I travel, I inevitably end up in taxis or restaurants that are owned by Pakistanis. And it is surprising how I relate to them almost at every level. And she was very right that it is probably the politics that divides us. Let me now come to how the speaker can improve. The first and foremost thing that stood out to me was related to Pakistan. So when the waiter said to her that I am from Pakistan, her expressions were very consistent. It was really Pakistan. I would have wanted her to at least exhibit surprise, surprise mixed with a sense of patriotism. You are from Pakistan? I am from India. That kind of a thing. More importantly, in the context of Pakistan, for people who do not understand what India and Pakistan means, could have brought out that context. Maybe used a simile. India and Pakistan are like the Republicans and Democrats. India and Pakistan are like England and Australia when it comes to cricket. Maybe use a simile to build that context up. The third and the most important thing, I would love to see some body language. So, to challenge the speaker, I give her two challenges. Number one, a humorous speech. And yes, Hina, you can do it. And number two, stand and deliver. Yes, you can do that too. But overall, wonderful speech, wonderful storytelling. Loved the way you created those relatable experiences. Being an Indian, loved the way you brought out that dichotomy between India and Pakistan and the plight of a vegetarian food, uh, 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 a vegetarian abroad. All the best for your next speeches. Thank you for sharing this one. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rupinder. Could we quickly have polling for best evaluator?
Up. Speech evaluator. Go.
So moving on to the next section of evaluation, I would jump to my team of tag players, starting with the Grammarian. Pratik, could you please share your evaluation for the meeting?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, Manisha. So we had pretty good usages of words and phrases. So out of, I just tell everyone. So Fatima used nevertheless, unraveling, and eventually Nina used jumbled up touristy. I would like to tell that when she used touristy, I thought that she had used the wrong word. Then I googled it up, and then I came to know that it was the right word. So it added up my vocab. And morsel, cliche, Gayatri used it straight. Naveen used nevertheless again. And then we had Manisha using cultivate, inculcate, and Rupinder using intriguing, inevitable, and plight. Pretty good usages of phrases were also seen to date, like better diet results in better mood, food of thought, then made me into tears around the clock. It's when it strike him. Then the seafood pun, which Rupinder also mentioned in Hina's speech, I really admired it. I liked how Hina said first trip was scavenger hunt for vegetarian food. Very nice use of words and phrase. Poured my heart. It was a very nice phrase used in the speech. Then feed your sickness. Naveen used this one. And Naveen, I missed the second line you said about Mary. Could you please type to me in the chat box because I want to keep it with me. But when Hansika used make a pledge, Padma Kumar used eat whatever your taste buds want. Jim used a great phrase of like bodies are like car, feed what your body needs. Abhishek used speaking my mind out. There was some places where I feel that people could have done better, speakers and everyone could have done better. Starting is somebody used a Hindi phrase, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." So it is a great phrase, and but I will recommend that it should come with the translation in English after once you use a sentence in any other language. And now let's begin could be let's begin. Continuously instead, somewhere continuously was used instead of continuous. Somebody used far, far away. It could be changed to distant or far flung. Instead of using is I audible, we can say am I audible. Instead of using parallelly twice in a sentence or more than twice in a sentence, we can say that in turn or it results into, or maybe simultaneously, instead of using a word again and again in a word in a sentence. Again, we had a usage of atta and maida. It should be translated to floor after speaking in another language. Very much was used by one of the speakers. It could be changed to enormously or greatly. That's it. So this is my report. I'll share the file. Thank you. Over to you, Madam General Level.
Thank you, Prateek, for a very comprehensive evaluation. Moving on to second in the army of tag role players, inviting my dear friend Ragini to please share the evaluation.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I will now quickly share my screen to present my counter report. For all the speakers, please take a note of your R's and ums that you used. So I would now like to appreciate the speakers who spoke flawlessly, including the prepared speech speakers Fatima and Hina, then our table topic master Gayatri Deshmukh, our table topic speakers Naveen Parwal, Padma Kumar, guest Jim, and our evaluator Rupinder Singh. Now some of the comments which I would like to highlight. Sorry. So for Toastmaster of the day, Ayushi, I appreciate the way you've stopped using R's and ums and instead you've started taking pauses. But now again, the second tip which you should work on is minimize the long usage of pauses. Another observation was for the speaker Naveen Parwal. So I observed repetition of words, not a single word, but you tend to repeat the words you've used previously in the sentence. For example, I felt, might, you might, I felt, you feeling. So you have a tendency to repeat the words again and again while you speak. Hansika, you have the tendency to use the word thing as a filler, talking about that thing, something, the thing I spoke about, the thing I was looking into. So avoid using the word thing. Now, some tips. Now, everybody, we know why we use R's and ums. If you don't have an answer, I would let you know. So when we use R's and ums, we tend to give our brain some time to think about the next word we want to use. So speaking down slowly and not rushing through will help you will help keep your brains keep up to it, keep up to the pace, and also avoid your ahs and ums. So speak slowly. Now tip number 2 is self-awareness. Hear yourself when you speak. And this is by my first-hand experience. This is what I try in my speeches. I hear myself self-consciously and be aware of how I am putting my words together. And that's how it helps me to stop using ahs and ums in my speech. But take a pause. Take breathe and take a small pause, but avoid using ahs and ums, those sounds. Right. I hope you try and execute these tips. Now I would like to hand over the stage back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Ragini, for such an insightful evaluation. Moving on next to the timer, Urfia, could you please take over to the stage and share your evaluation?
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. It was my privilege to be the timer today. So far, we did really good. We were always, most of the time, we were always under the time. For prepared speeches, one of the speakers was just 2 seconds, or is that 2 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes away from the qualifying time, which was 5 minutes. And the second speaker was just 5 minutes away from being disqualified. So that the speakers could take care of that in the future. For table topics, we were all within the time limit. I have color coded the speakers as per the timing cards that were shown to them when they stopped speaking. So these were at the green cards, yellow cards, and red cards. All of the table topic speakers were well within that time limit, so none of them were disqualified on that. Moving on to the evaluation. The first evaluator, Rajesh, he could have spoken more because the time allotted is between 2 to 3, and he finished his evaluation in under 2 minutes, which is fine, but I think he could take care of that in future. And Rupinder was just 5 minutes away from the disqualifying time, but he took care of that well. Moving on to the tag role players, Pratik with his Grammarian's report, he took 3 minutes 24 seconds, which again was under the time limit, and Ragini finished well before time, which was 2 minutes 40 seconds. I have not timed myself, I'm so sorry. If anyone is timing me, they can let me know. Okay, so that was the end of my report. Thank you so much. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Urfia, for the evaluation. Now, I would quickly share my evaluation of all the evaluators. Starting with the prepared speech evaluators, Rajesh, I think could, okay, we're casting vote for the best role player right now, auxiliary role player. Okay, so moving on to the evaluation of the evaluators, the first evaluator, Rajesh, I think his evaluation was very encouraging. He shared a very insightful feedback as well. Just one suggestion is to follow the CRC approach, commendations, recommendations, and then ending with the commendations again. That's all. Rupinder, no evaluation, I think, required. Very well detailed overview of the speech he had shared. Then moving on to the auxiliary role players. Grammarian, I just one thing, I think the report was very comprehensive. Just one thing, I feel you could have encouraged everyone to use the word of the day. Probably you could have chosen a word which was a little easier or easier to use in, I think, speech. Otherwise, I think it was a well prepared report. Ragini shared a very comprehensive report again. I really loved the tips that you shared for not using ahs and ums in our speech. So I think that was very helpful personally as well. Moving on to then timer, again, I think no recommendations as such. The report was very very detailed and comprehensive again. In terms of evaluation of the other role players, Sergeant at Arms, I think the objectives and guidelines were very well read out, very coherent and clearly. Presiding officer introduced and addressed the guests. I would say address the guests without taking too much time. And I also liked how the presiding officer suggested everyone to not panic in case there's a technical glitch, and join back the meeting, which becomes very important given the nature of our meetings these days. Toastmaster of the day, I think the topic was very relevant, was very well chosen, regardless of our geographies, regardless of our age. Healthy eating habits, how we eat, the kind of lifestyles we lead, it's a topic that everyone can relate to. I also like that throughout your speaking time, you kept bringing certain pointers, like there was information, but there was not too much information. So eating slow is something that I'm taking away from your information that you shared throughout. Table topic master, I really like the topics that you chose. uh, Definitely really well connected with the theme for the day. I also felt that there was a philosophical bent to every topic that you had chosen, which of course the speakers could have addressed, personal choice, but I liked how the topics were not just related to food, but if you think harder, there was a philosophical end also to what you were trying to say. Also, I liked how you pasted the topics also in the chat box, so just in case somebody is not able to understand, so very well usage of the other tools available at hand as well. I think this, yeah, that's all for my evaluation. I would now hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the Day, Ayushi. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha, for your detailed evaluation and covering each and every aspects. At the end, I would like to say that improve your life by choosing eating healthy foods. You will not get into shape, but also feel mentally calmer and better. This would lead to better immunity, which would be a small step from our side in this current scenario. Stay healthy, happy, and always keep smiling. It was my pleasure to be the Toastmasters for the day today. And now I will hand over the stage to my dearest friend Ragini, presiding officer for today. Over to you, Ragini.
Would be Manpinder, I think.
Yes. So I would now hand over the stage to the presiding officer, Manpinder, for the day.
Thank you, Ragini. So wonderful meeting. We thoroughly enjoyed our Sunday afternoon. So now I would like to have the feedback from the guests, and I would like to call upon our first guest, that is Abhishek Malhotra. Could you please come to the spotlight and share your feedback regarding the meeting? Abhishek Malhotra.
Is it a poll or I have to speak?
You just have to give the feedback regarding the meeting.
You can continue, Abhishek. The poll will go on.
Okay. I think meeting was quite good in terms of everybody got an opportunity to speak out, and by doing mistakes and somebody pointing out those mistakes for the improvement purpose, everybody will going to learn together. That's what my thing.
1 second, I'm relaunching the poll for the best role player. I think we got the wrong poll. Sorry for that. You can continue, Manpinder, while I reconstruct the poll.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for your feedback. Next, I would like to call upon Pratik Goyal. Pratik Goyal, provide your feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is my fourth meeting I am attending on Turning Point on Sundays, and I think that I will be attending all the meetings. This is a pretty nice setup, and on Sundays it's very easy for me to join. And moreover, the topics and the themes are really what resonates with me. That today's theme really resonated with me about food and how the TMOD was giving suggestions over food, and in these times of the pandemic, keeping healthy food habits. It was well thought, and I really enjoyed today's meeting. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you,
I'd love to have you as a member of our Turning Point Toastmasters. So keep joining. And next is Hansika Jaryal.
Yeah, so today's meeting was also really nice. Just say, we have all the meetings so far. So something that I noticed today was that, you know, it's something that I have been noticing, but I want to say it out right here, that, you know, when pointing out somebody else's mistakes and everything, now it's kind of a, you know, a pleasure when we seek our mistakes from somebody else. It's so much informative and we learn a lot. The words, we build up a nice vocabulary, and that's a part of our communication process which we deal with in our day-to-day life as well. So that's something that's really informative and really nice. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ansika. Next, we have Naveen Parwal. Naveen, are you there?
No, I think Naveen has left the forum.
Okay. Next, we have Dheeraj Sharma. I think.
I couldn't find Dheeraj either.
Okay, next we have Sher Singh.
Yes, today's meeting was very knowledgeable, and I enjoyed a lot. And of course, everyone got a chance to speak up, and the feedback was wonderful. And they noticed how to where we have made mistake and how to improve them. So there was everything, means learning and how to make them correct and how to speak. Every feedback was so knowledgeable, and we should adopt them in speaking. Yeah, this was
It's
from
all
my
about
side.
learning,
Thank
getting
you.
evaluated and implementing in your next speeches and generally in your life as well. So thank you, Sher Singh, for your feedback. Next, we have Jim.
Really good evaluations, very supportive, and it's really nice to see. I'm a district finalist in the international speech contest, and some of the feedback I got was so mean and nasty. You wouldn't believe it. I sent it to some world champion to have a look at the feedback I've been getting, and it's really shocking. So it's really nice to be here and to hear very supportive evaluations and feedback. It's something that you can't expect or not appreciate. Appreciate what you have here. Back to you, Manpinda.
Thank you, Jim. It's an honor to have you here with us. Please keep joining our meetings. So next we have awards for the day. May I request Rupinder to share the results with us?
May I share my feedback as well? I've also
Sorry.
Yes, I think we have a couple of guests.
Okay.
sorry if I'm intruding into your time, but I just
No, please go ahead. Please go
So
ahead.
first of all, this 1:30 Sunday, I felt initially before I got an experience of Turning Point Toastmasters that was intruding into my power nap time. But then after attending your meetings, now I really look forward to attending these meetings, because when I do a cost benefit analysis of a nap versus attending Turning Point Toastmasters meeting, Turning Point Toastmasters just hits the ball out of the park. So one specific thing that I would like to call out in today's meeting is that I love that the general evaluator started off with giving evaluations for table topic speakers and ended with evaluations for the evaluators and the role players. And I must say that that is a very comprehensive kind of approach to evaluation, and I love that. And personally, since the cost benefit analysis heavily in favor of attending those Turning Point Toastmasters, my attempt will be to come more frequent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Padma. Thank you for your feedback. Next, we have Nasir as a guest as well. So Nasir, can you please share your feedback?
How does it feel to be a guest?
Yeah, it was a wonderful meeting. It is my home club, so I always love to attend the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. I think we are done with all the guests.
Yes, we
Okay.
are.
Rupinder, please could you share the awards?
Yes, I will. So welcome to our award distribution system. I hope you can all see my screen, which says send certificates by email. Obviously, I'm not going to send them by email just yet. I will start with the best table topic speaker number 3. And it is an exhilarating feeling when you are a guest and you win the best table topic speaker. So many congratulations, Hansika Jarial, for being the best table topic speaker number 3. Great job. Then moving on to our second best table topic speaker for today, and it was a Padma Kumar, the person who gave up his afternoon siesta for our meeting, and we are hugely indebted to you for that. Uh, the person who won the best table topic speaker today gave you incomplete information. He's not just the ISC champion for his district, he's also the evaluation speech champion. And guess what else he's a champion at? That's right, table topics, and he amply displayed that. Many congratulations, Jimwan. Now, as we move on to the best auxiliary role player. Now, this role that won the award today always makes me happy when this role wins the award, because it is one of the most difficult roles in which to win an award. And the person who won this award is seemingly not afraid of me at all. Many congratulations, Ragini Rajpal. Great job done there. Moving on to our best role player, and it was a close fight. We had 3 wonderful primary role players today, and they were all separated by a difference of 1 vote each. But in the end, there was one winner, and it happened to be the Toastmaster of the day. Great job done, Ayushi Kumar, for that wonderful theme. And I'm not sure if I quite agree with you about healthy eating, but I think we can all agree to disagree, because that is what Toastmasters is all about. Now, when it comes to the best speech evaluator, again, I think I tried my level best to get disqualified on time, but failed, and hence the best speech evaluator goes to Rupinder Singh. Not that you were not good, Rajesh. Just try to finish closer to 3 minutes 30 seconds. You should be all right. And last but not the least, the best speaker for today would have been disqualified by 5 seconds, but she finished at 7 minutes 25. Many congratulations, Hina Verma. I will go back to my screen and I will hit this button, and the certificates will be in your inboxes right about now. I'll just go and check. No errors. So you must have received your certificates. Thank you very much. We'll stop sharing the screen, and back to you, presiding officer.
Okay, thank you, Rupinder. This feature looks amazing, sending certificates on one go.
Welcome back, Manpinder. It's been around for more than a year.
I'm missing out things, I think. So thank you again, everyone, for joining our meetings, for giving amazing things to learn. And we would love to have you in the other meetings as well. We join on Thursdays as well at 7 p.m. So you can join our Thursday meetings as well as on Sundays on the same time. So with this, we would like to close the meeting.
I will stop the recording for now.